Hello, Cal State History Department and Editorial Board of Perspectives. I greet you from the Dover Air Force Base. My name is Erwin Delgado, class of 2006, Editorial Board of Perspectives, I believe in 1995. I would first off like to congratulate you and the department for being steadfast in keeping that project, that publication in play after so many years, and I'm sure for many years in the future. My position here at Dover Air Force Base is as wing historian. It's a recent assignment, 2 months. Previous to that, I was working in the museum sector in Washington, D.C. But I'd like to speak very briefly about how Perspectives helped to where I am today, working as a historian with across the Air Force enterprise, capturing operational details of our nation's efforts in war and peace. When I was editor back then, compared to the technology we have now, it's light and day. But yet, I do recall with the support of faculty how we were able to organizationally put out the feeler for students, my fellow students at the time, who were writing their historiography course or final project, and to have those discussions within the student body and with faculty support on what we wanted to publish and was worthy of the publication. So one of the things that I took from that project was the responsibility where you have to make those decisions sometimes that are not favorable to the author, sometimes making editorial changes that in the short term might seem insignificant, but really aided in the final project. And I think that skill in terms of being able to corral all that information from different sources, from different meetings with your students and faculty and other advisors was essential. And more to the point, in my position here as historian, in any job you have, when they ask you have a history degree, there are some automatic assumptions which are they're expected. One of which, you have to be organizationally proficient. That is, know where to go to get information and be able to then place it in the proper buckets and produce a product, a report, a wing history, whatever the case may be. So for those of you who took the opportunity to serve on Perspectives, that's something that you will be able to explain many years in the future as being editor or being an author, because you have to meet those deadlines and explain to an audience and also at symposiums and conferences how you arrived at your arguments. So that is definitely a skill that I think is well worth the time and effort to do. Additionally, I would suggest that as you graduate and go forward, definitely keep a lifeline to those mentors, your professors and other people you'll encounter in different positions of work, because all of that comes into play when you least expect it. When I interviewed for this position, one of the questions was, so you have a degree in history. What else? Where can we look to products in your past that speak to your skill? And certainly, you can point to any work product, any written product of recent vintage or of more distant vintage. It all goes to show prospective employers that you're capable. So I would definitely encourage you to write as much as you can, read as much as you can, be voracious in reading outside of your specialty, and keep those records. Keep the receipts, as it were, because it will definitely aid in your career. With that said, I'll stop here, and I wish you a very successful 50th anniversary of Perspectives. My best to everyone at the department,